So we'll get to the defensive alignment here in just a second, but the pitcher on the mound in this ballgame for the Great Lakes Resorters, Cade Cintorino out of Grand Valley State University, gets his second start so far on the season. The lefty had one start already, and he got touched up a little bit in that one. 3 runs, none of which were earned, but pitchers have certainly not gotten a lot of help from their defense, specifically for the Great Lakes Resorters so far this season. So just 3 innings pitched so far in the year for Cade Cintorino, so we'll see if he can turn things around in this start against the Traverse City Pit Spitters in a game that they need very bad. I mean, they need all the games, but last night, again, just 1 big inning. 5 runs in the first inning for the Traverse City Pit Spitters, and that was that. They only needed 1 run the rest of the game, and they won it. So it'll be a tough lineup to face here for Cintorino as he starts things off against Tommy Troy. One of 3 Pit Spitters to receive Northwoods League honors in the last 4 baseball games. This team has been that good as of late. First pitch from Cintorino is well outside. He has kind of an unconventional delivery, a sidearm delivery from the left side. He can fool batters pretty bad, and he's been decent with Grand Valley State. He just needs to limit the big inning here tonight. That one smacked into center field. James back on it. He makes the catch. The game of baseball can be very unfair at times. Tommy Troy got all that one, just to the wrong spot. The defensive side here for the Resorters: Aaron Hurd, Travis Janes, Ryan Reifenberg in the outfield, Bassard, Matson, Farquhar, Marcoux. Anthony Pohl behind the plate, his first start at catcher, and then on the mound, the aforementioned Cade Cintorino here tonight. So 1 batter up, 1 fly out for Cintorino. Now he faces Tito Flores. That one way outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Beautiful day for baseball here. It was cloudy earlier, but that has since cleared up. Again, just 7 innings in length for the rest of the season. So from here on out, it'll just be 7 innings of baseball. Well, last night it felt like a full game, given how much offense was going on, specifically in the top of the first. One team's been scoring a lot. The other team has barely been scoring. Another fly out to center field. Back-to-back flyouts to Travis Janes in Central. So now it'll be Joe Laudent in his first start in Pit Spitter black and red. First one to him runs high and away, 1 ball, no strike. So a couple of college teammates facing each other here, and Cintorino and Laudent. Second pitch to Laudent's in there. Fastball at the knees, 1 ball, 1 strike. A revolving door of players for both of these teams. Only a collection of original Pit Spitters still on the roster. 3 position players, a grand total of 3. One of them is waiting in the on-deck circle, and Chris Monroe. Him, Chris Faust, and Trey Younger, the only 3 original guys left. Matson dives, but it's by his outstretched glove into center field. Laudent, the first base knock on the day, in the first as a Traverse City Pit Spitter. Man on first, 2 outs here for Big Diesel. So not a bad inning here for Cintorino. Just needs to get Monroe to roll over on something, or maybe get strike 3 to get out of this one with still a goose egg on the board. Talked about the importance of keeping these Pit Spitters off the board so far this season. Again, when they score first, there's a lot of problems. Bassard with the backhand, turns around across the diamond. Marcoux can't make the scoop, and everyone's safe. Another base hit for Chris Monroe. Hit safely in 11 out of his last 12 games. That one well-deserved. It would have been a hard play there for Bassard over at third base. Here's Carson Eby. Watches a strike go by 0-1. You figured for a second these Traverse City Pit Spitters, once they started losing all of their big bats, that the offensive side would slow down for them and that the playing field would even out a little bit. Well, that in no way has happened. Carson Eby, one of the new guys on this team, how about a 7-game hitting streak with 5 RBIs and even a double to go along with that? You lost players like Mario Camilletti and Spencer Schwellenbach. Both of those guys are on the All-Star ballot. They were only here for, what, a month and a week, if that? 1-1, a pretty breaking ball swung out and missed. There on the inside, jams Eby a little bit. 357 so far in the year for Carson. So those guys left, and you figured maybe that would leave a gaping hole in the offense. Not in the slightest. It's 1-2 shot to the right side. Hold on. Do it again here at 1 ball and 2 strikes. But Cintorino's looking okay. I mean, he's getting ground balls. He's getting weak contact. That's the point. He's been great at Grand Valley State. Junior year, he led the team with 44 strikeouts across 52 and a third innings of work. Do it again here, 1-2. Eby fighting to stay alive. Monroe situated at first. Loudon still over at second. Prior to Grand Valley State, though, Cintorino, 2 years at Muskegon Community College. Second team all-conference honors as a sophomore. This one shot to the right side, past the outstretched glove of Farquhar. Around third, Loudon, the slide into home, he's safe. First inning, first run for the Pit Spitters, an RBI knock for Carson Eby. Eight-game hitting streak. Not slowing down a bit. Here's Brennan Chisholm. 333 for him. And once again, before we can even blink, the Traverse City Pit Spitters up 1-0 in this ballgame. This one shot over the head of Matson. Chugging around third, Monroe. Another play at the plate, and it's another run for the Pit Spitters. The throw to third. Not in time. Monroe home to score. Eby to third. Chisholm an RBI double. Cade Cintorino just getting eaten up here in the top of this first frame. Here's another one of the new guys, newly entered Cooper Marshall into the ballgame. First pitch to him, fastball, grabs the outside part of the plate, no balls, 1 strike. These Traverse City Pit Spitters, there's just something about them. I don't know what it is. You know, we talk about culture, we talk about championship mentality. I don't know what you want to call it. But it really seems like you can just take whatever piece you want, put it into the system, and they win. 1-1 cut on and missed at the knees. Men on second and third, 2 outs here for Cintorino. Talked about the big inning. Well, you need to get this out right here. 2 runs won't kill you. But when the Spitters score 4 or more, they're 20-2 so far in the year. Got him. Fastball tipped into the glove of the catcher, and that'll be that. Spitters push across a couple. We'll be right back. Northwoods League Baseball Network. Boots hit a tank shot out to right center field, a 3-run home run. And the Great Lakes Resorters forge out ahead here 3-2. Craig Corliss, Jack Schaefer, and then Tommy Troy, the 3 to start this inning. And that has to feel good if you're Cade Cintorino. Give up a couple of runs, you figure, oh boy, it's going to be a long night. Your guys come out and give you 3 runs, now a chance to play with a 1-run lead. and try to hold that. First pitch to Corliss is a fastball over the knees, called a strike. No balls, 1 strike. Again, the wind is blowing out to left center field, so Roman Kuntz actually hit that ball against the wind. And that's the positives and negatives of playing against a guy who throws as hard as Zach Fruit. Again, the harder it comes in, the harder it goes out. Kuntz got every single piece of that. Breaking ball misses inside here to Corliss. Corliss 179 so far in the year. 2 balls, 1 strike against him. And he has really turned things around at the plate. Nearing 200 after going just 4 for his first 32 appearances. Then after that, how about 5 straight games of not even getting 1 hit? Matson up with it. 1 down. So that's the way you get the second inning started off if you're Cade Cintorino. Fly out to start the first, ground out to start the second. So that opens the door here for Jack Schaefer with 1 away. You have to be really excited about that if you're the Great Lakes Resorters. Again, runs and hits have certainly come at a premium so far this year. The Resorters have been held to 4 or less runs in 4 out of their last 7 ball games. I mean, even when they get them on, they still struggle to get them home. Couple of strikes here from Cintorino to Jack Schaefer. No balls, 2 strikes. Schaefer still in search of his first base knock. Got on base and scored in his last game. One runs inside from Cintorino. Steps off the mound here. One, 2. Way outside. 2-2. Jack Schaefer originally went to Spoon River College in Illinois. Native of Germantown Hills. Won a state championship. Shoots that one foul off to the right side. What's really nice for the Great Lakes Resorters having Cade Cintorino out on the mound is they haven't had a lot of lefties so far this season. It's been righty after righty and a lot of favorable matchups for Traverse City. Cintorino went to Kennewa Hills High School. Where he really shined was Little League. This one off to the right side. Farquhar up with it. Throw to Cintorino, and it bounces off his mitt. Schaefer up to first base, and the first error on the day for Great Lakes. Took his eye off the baseball, wanted to check if he had his foot on the bag. Just ended up skipping off his glove, so an E1. And a man on with 1 out here for the Pit Spitters for Tommy Troy in the top of this lineup. First pitch to him. A little bit low and inside, 1-0. I talked to somebody else who was at the ball game last night, someone who is related to one of the individuals on these 2 teams. And, you know, I talked to him about the game, and I go, what were your impressions? Oh, he goes, so that one is way outside. 2 balls, no strikes. He goes, well, it's pretty simple. He goes, don't give up the big inning. Don't give up the big inning. Don't allow these Traverse City Pit Spitters to have that 1 inning where they pile on 4 or 5. The Spitters have struck for 4 or more runs in a single inning in 7 out of their last 9 baseball games. Simply put, you can't beat this team. if you're giving up 4 or more in a single frame. One of the most electric bats. It's at the dish right now as that one almost catches Jack Schaefer leaning. Tommy Troy's become the premier leadoff man, wearing the old jersey of Mario Camilletti, the all-star. Was here for a couple of seasons with the Pitts Bitters. He's notched a hit in all 6 games that he's played. Farquhar on to second. The throw from Matson not quite in time as Tommy Troy reaches via a fielder's choice. Schaefer down at 2. Troy, the speedy Tommy Troy, up to first on the FC for Tito Flores. Got notched a hit in all 6 games as Troy. Double, triple, 8 RBIs to go with that. And the Northwoods League Player of the Night on one of those nights. It's another man who's looking to turn things around at the dish, and Tito Flores. Throw over to first, he got him. Just in time. Cintorino picks off Tommy Troy, and that's the inning. We'll be right back. Northwoods League Baseball Network. Point. Enjoying baseball, live baseball here in 2020. It's rare to come by live sports with live fans. Nowhere in professional baseball where you see that. And probably no one who's more gracious of this opportunity than the man on the mound here in Cade Cintorino. Couple of strong innings for Cintorino. 1 run came around to score, or 2 runs rather, in that first inning. In that second inning, an error over at first base by Cintorino, but it didn't come around to haunt him. Picked Tommy Troy off first base. Between him and James Rogers, the 2 dominating lefties on this team, they've been having a heyday when it comes to picking guys off here this summer. Flores, Loudon, Monroe, the scheduled 3. As Flores watches a strike on the outside part of the plate here, no balls, 1 strike. Flores, the 4-year letter winner out of Brother Rice High School. That one runs inside, has to jump out of the way of that. 1-1. Also wanted to mention today, Salute to Service Wednesday. All Wednesdays here this summer are Salute to Service Wednesdays. Half-price tickets for active military, vets, healthcare workers, first responders, snowplow drivers, and educators. You're all necessary, so make it out to a Wednesday game and get yourself some half-priced tickets. Throw to first from Bassard. Marcoux lands on first. 5-3 goes the ground out to start off the 3rd inning. 1 down. Simple little ground out to third there by Flores. Loudon and Monroe, the next 2 in. As I mentioned earlier, only a collection of games left. Five more rather, this week. 4 and then an off day after the off day on the 25th, and then 3 regular season games before our postseason commences on September the 3rd, with the championship game happening on Saturday the 5th. One GV guy faces the other. A lot of local guys being called up here to Traverse City. A lot of them. Specifically 2 Division II programs in Grand Rapids, Davenport and Grand Valley. Cintorino, Loudon, Chris Faust, who's been on the roster since July the 1st. I won't even start on the list of Davenport guys. It's endless. Fastball upstairs. Loudon draws the walk. He's on base for the 2nd time here tonight. So he'll trot down to 1. Cintorino's been throwing strikes, though. His first walk on the night here tonight. Chris Monroe digs in next. One of the guys I was kind of surprised not to see on that All-Star ballot this morning. You know, you look in the designated hitter section and the first baseman section, you expect to see someone like Big Diesel. Unfortunately, he wasn't there. By and large, has been the best hitter on this roster. Well outside. 2 balls, no strikes here to the towering righty. Leads the team, 28 RBIs on the season. Had the team longest 11-game hitting streak, 12 ribbies to go with it. It's just cracked in last night's game when he went 0 for 3. Not only that, he's proven to be an elite first baseman. Even when it skips in the dirt or in the turf pellets. Monroe's one of those guys you always expect to make the scoop. He's out there every morning working on his craft. 2-1's way low. Pull able to stop it. 3 balls, 1 strike here to Monroe. Him and Pat Holfeld are always out there every single morning. I feel like before batting practice, Holfeld's got the fungo. Monroe takes ground balls. It's really proven to be an all-around player. Inside, back-to-back walks here for Cade Cintorino. So a pair of guys on here for the Spitters. Carson Eby takes his hacks next. Got over to third in that first, but couldn't get home. Hayden Modaf out of the dugout. A quick peek down at the Great Lakes Resorters bullpen. The milk means more bullpen. There is someone warming. Looks like it's Noah Magessi. Magessi, the 6'4", 215 righty out of Lansing Community College, the freshman. So he gets nice and warm. He might be called upon here early in this one. The other positive thing about 7 innings is the fact that you don't have to exhaust pitchers if you don't have to. Tough situation here against a right-handed hitter in Carson Eby, and especially with how hot he's been as of late. Not necessarily a favorable matchup for Cade Cintorino. Got a single back in the first inning. Of course, Grant Valley and Davenport play each other every single year. So I'm sure there have been more matchups outside of just here in the Summer Collegiate League where these two guys have seen each other. One and one. 8-game hitting streak for Eby. 5 RBIs, a double. Chance to add on to his RBI total if he can get a big swing coming up right here. Cintorino a little preoccupied. Checks again, now time called. Joe Laudent dancing around over at second base. One of the other exciting things that you have to be, looking at for some of these college coaches is the fact that these GV and Davenport guys get a good look at each other this summer. You get a look at a lot of local talent. And this is assuming that baseball gets back to normal in the 2021 season, which, again, is a big assumption. A huge assumption, given the fact that fall sports are either being postponed or canceled altogether. Back up the middle. Matson on to second. The backhanded throw to first. Unassisted double play. To the bottom of the third we go. Great Lakes still holding on here on the Northwoods League Baseball Network. In favor of the Great Lakes Resorters. Already halfway through this game. All 5 runs came back in the first. Traverse City put up 2. Great Lakes responded with 3 on a 3-run shot from Roman Kuntz to right center. before you know it, real competitive baseball game. Cintorino out for yet another inning of work, trying his best to eat up as many innings as possible before they have to dip into that bullpen. Faces Brennan Chisholm, Cooper Marshall, and then Craig Corliss. Next fastball dips outside. 1 ball, 1 strike here to Brennan Chisholm. How about an RBI double in his first AB? So Chisholm and Kuntz, the two guys who have contributed runs in this game. Pop fly in the infield. Farquhar, a couple of steps back, makes the catch, 1 away. Got that one right off the end of the bat. Here's Cooper Marshall again. So Cintorino doing what he has to do. Not letting that 2-run first inning get to him. The Resorters do have some decent options in their bullpen. One a little bit inside, 2 balls, no strikes. Marshall out of Western Michigan University. He sprays this one to the right side. Marcoux will watch it fly into the stands. So 2 balls, 1 strike here on the right fielder in his first game as a Traverse City Pittsburgher. Two ones way outside. Marshall listed as a corner infielder for the Broncos. 6'3" senior. Originally from Traverse City, Michigan. So a couple of different Traverse City guys on this Pittsburgher team now. That one bonks off the suite directly behind home plate. So both him and Sam Schmidt, both from Traverse City. Skies this one to right field. Reifenberg. 2 away. And a win here tonight for the Great Lakes Resorters would feel better than anything else. It would feel like the weight is off their shoulders. I said this jokingly last night, but you know, it almost has this feeling of they're almost cursed. There's almost 1 or 2 unlucky bounces every single game that just don't go their way, whether it be a bang-bang call, whether it be a ground ball that gets by a guy, or a fly ball that a guy can't catch, or a wild pitch. I mean, you name it. Like, I don't know what ancient burial ground you guys disturbed, but whatever it is, it does have that kind of feel of they just can't get the lucky breaks. I don't think it's as much as they don't have the talent level. I think it's just the game of baseball. Corliss watches one outside. 2 balls, 1 strikes here to the catcher. There's a reason why so many guys have such a love-hate relationship with baseball, especially guys that play it. When you're hot, you're really hot. When you're not, you're really, really not. The 2-1. Crack to the left side. Matson back. He leaps, but it's over his head. Corliss, another base knock. He's standing on first with 2 outs. And that's why Craig Corliss is improving so much at the plate. Didn't do too much with it. Shot it to the left side. A little blooping line drive that makes its way into left center field for a base hit. Corliss, one of the focuses on our latest Around the Diamond edition on social media. Jack Schaefer fouls one back. No balls, 1 strike. But Corliss, you know, like a lot of the other guys on these teams, recent transfers out of the universities that they were originally at. That transfer portal has been a nightmare throughout this COVID-19 pandemic. Fastball outside, 1-1 And certain universities only have so much scholarship money to go around. And what Corliss said they did at Siena, the coach said no seniors are allowed to come back. It's all because of money. So a lot of uncertainty for the guys who are either wearing black or green here tonight as to where they're going to end up next year and what the season will look like. I mean, you can't just tell the freshmen to go back to high school. So you have a whole new group of guys and returning players from last season. This one shot to right field. Reifenberg has it, and that's the inning. Another scoreless inning for Cade Cintorino. To the bottom of 4 we go. Northwoods League Baseball Network.